A terrible fitness myth that I see all the time in gyms is that men do the lifting and women do cardio. And this is actually hurting women. Um, it's keeping people from getting the absolute most out of exercise. And so I'm going to be talking about this today, and I'm going to be helping you, if you're a lady here, get started faster than you probably, if you haven't gotten started yet. There's a reason for that. You don't necessarily know exactly where to start. So I'm going to be talking about these myths and, of course, debunking them because it's insane nonsense. And I'm going to be here just to help you get started. That's what I want for all of you, to begin getting the benefits from exercise, the life extension, and disease mitigating benefits. So before we get started, a free gift for everybody who comes to my channel is a free quick start guide. The link is down below in the description and it's in the comments. And this is just a PDF that will give you everything that you need to know. You'll basically be signing up for my email list. I'm not going to spam you. I am, however, going to put out 5 emails the week of my launch, which is next week. I'm launching a course that's going to go into huge detail about how to stay safe and use this methodology to help change your own life. So please sign up and just download that free guide. So to dive into this, that myth about women just needing to do cardio, or all I need to do is cardio. If you've been watching my channel, if you've looked at the most recent articles about myokines and how strength training is the key to giving you all of the health benefits and the life extension benefits, then you'll know that you can't get those benefits doing cardio. The only way that you can get them is by deeply inroading your muscles to an intense amount of effort. And what that means is just doing work that challenges the body in a very meaningful way. And of course, I definitely suggest using machines first and foremost if you're able to. If you don't have someone to put you through a body weight exercise regime at home, or if you don't have access to a full course that'll teach you how to do that, which, by the way, I'm going to be releasing that one next month about body weight and free weights. But if you don't have that, I recommend that you get started somewhere like Planet Fitness or any of these very inexpensive gyms that are just like $15 a month. You can start anytime and just get in there and use my quick start guide and start getting these benefits. So my favorite chapter of Body by Science is the very last one, and it's called the Ideal Training Program for Seniors. The very first paragraph on there talks about how we need to get away from making this assumption that senior citizens, that elderly, need some other requirements than everybody else when it comes to exercise. We all need the same things. This goes for men and women as well, across the board. And so what I want to do is I want to normalize helping ladies get on these strength machines and reverse your osteoporosis. I'm going to be making some more videos on osteoporosis coming up in the next month, and really diving into some of these studies and giving you a really better sense of how this happens biologically in the human body. So the big question is, when it comes to all of this, how do I get started? Where do I get started? So like I said, download that PDF guide so it'll be in writing for you. When you're starting out, my best suggestion for everybody, if you've never done strength training before, or it's been a long time since you have done strength training, start out with about 3/4 of your body weight on that leg press. And understand that when you do get started, it's very important for you to not ever lock out your knees, You want to keep your knees bent upward at all times. You want to have good form, speed, and breathing. All of that as well as in that PDF. But what we're talking about today is your starting weights. So, like I say, with that leg press, you could move up your weights with every workout, which I would suggest twice a week beginning. You could move up your weights 20 pounds every single session. And this will start to feel very intense very quickly. This is a good thing. As long as you're following all of the speed, form, and breathing requirements, you're never locking out your knees, you're staying safe, then you're going to be fine, following the proper guidelines behind high-intensity strength training. So where would you start out on some of these other machines? And what machines should you start out by using? So I recommend something just very basic for beginners. Starting out, just the big 3 or the big 5 would be really good. And that would be the big 5 would be the leg press, a compound row, a lat pull down, a chest press, and an overhead press. Now you could, especially for ladies, if you want to focus more on your legs, you could substitute a leg curl for the overhead press. That would totally be okay. These are going to be your core exercises. Essentially, in high intensity training, we prefer for each workout to be a full body workout, especially when you're first starting out. Now, I've moved to doing a split where sometimes I will work my lower body and then a few days later I'll fully fatigue my upper body. And that's fine as well. But you want to really get the most out of your first workout so you can build strength very quickly. And so my suggestion is get started with that big 5 workout and begin there. And then you can move your weights up. Again, all of this is on that PDF. You can move your weights up very quickly. Now, for some ladies starting out, you may not be able to push even like 20 pounds on the chest press. My mom, when she was 68 years old, began this training program, and she was at about 20 pounds on that chest press, and now she's lifting 40 pounds. She's doubled her strength in her upper body. And the chest press is going to be very important for osteoporosis as well. So this is something I definitely want you to accentuate and put an importance into if you do have osteoporosis. And also the leg press is going to be important for you to do every session in the beginning. Those are the 2 most important. And in other videos, I'm going to get into exactly why. I'm going to drop studies down below to talk about it. But basically it goes like this. If you're using 2 joints to push force against something on a microscopic level, it'll bend your bone just very slightly, and it sends that signal to your brain that says, help us, we're in peril. From there, of course, the body is flooded with myokines, which only come out in our bodies when we contract our muscles to a very, very, very intense state. So that's starters, what you really need to know, especially about osteoporosis. And so in the upper body, you could begin moving your weights up by maybe 5 pounds, and then after probably about a few sessions, I would say, you're going to want to start increasing a slow amount, maybe 1 pound or 2 pounds increase, and then you'll hit what feels like a plateau. I don't like to use these words plateau anymore, because plateaus are really just normal muscle growth. Muscle growth happens very slowly, and when it comes down to it, the beginner's gains those are huge. And so people assume, oh no, I'm hitting a plateau, I'm not going to make any progress upward. No, what's actually true about this is that your progress at the beginning, it was actually crazy fast compared to the progress you're going to make normally throughout the rest of your life. Which, by the way, you need to be doing this at least once a week for the rest of your life in order to stay mobile and in order to live a better life and live longer. 5 to 10 years longer is what we're looking for. Completely mobile, of course. So a lot of people that don't have much strength, a lot of ladies will start out at maybe 20 pounds on that chest press. And then maybe in some of these others, you may not even be able to lift a full 20 pounds on, say, the biceps, the triceps. But as close as you can get to that 20 is good for your starting workout. Now, giving yourself that 3-4 days of rest is going to be super important so you can get back in and fully fatigue your muscles again. You'll want to add 5 more pounds to those 2 exercises. Now, when it comes to, say, the leg curl, the leg extension, the abduction, the adduction, these are all going to be vastly different between individuals. So think about it. Maybe if you've never done strength training, put maybe 40 pounds on your leg curl, 35, 40 pounds, and then maybe 35 pounds on your leg extension. This may feel super intense from the start. That's good. We want that intensity to be high. We want it to burn when we're doing it. Of course, we're only talking about the burning from natural muscle contraction. We're not talking about anything else. We never want to feel any pinching or a deep aching or a feeling of something that resembles a strain. Now, what you will notice on the abduction, when you're pushing outward into your hips, your outer thighs, your glutes that are deep inside of your body, those themselves, you'll feel like you might have a cramping sensation that begins. This is completely natural. It's okay. Now, if it becomes a cramp, which it probably won't, then you can get up and readjust yourself. And just make sure that you're not making any jerky, fast movements when you're doing any of these exercises. I would say on the compound row and lat pull down, you could probably start around 40 or 45 pounds. Now, this is going to feel intense just like these others from the beginning, but adjust it accordingly. If you're not able to get that full range of motion, basically pulling your elbows back a little bit behind you on that lat pull down, if you're not able to get those elbows a little bit behind you on that compound row, you can lower those weights a little bit because range of motion is going to be key to really getting the most out of this in the beginning. Starting out, you're going to want that range. So I would love to hear any questions about this. I'll say this, like I said, there really are no differences biologically with what we need between young adults, older adults, elderly individuals, women, men. We are all made the same. And essentially, the only difference between us is how much we're going to be able to lift. That's it. So I hope that you do get started. I hope that you download my free PDF guide and get on my mailing list. I'll send out some helpful stuff. The last email I sent out was about why I'm endorsing using machines first before I create all of these other courses for you. And, of course, it's safety. Safety is the number one reason that I'm endorsing machines. There's a lot of other reasons too, though. So feel free to sign up for my email list, and I hope that you get started today living a longer and healthier and stronger life with the power of strength training. I'll talk to you soon.